say a student comes to you with a legitimate issue that they think needs to be resolved, and that you think needs to be resolved, and that a lot of students think needs to be resolved. How would you go about either resolving it? How would you deal with the administration? How would you deal with student council? Because I know that the chair position has a lot more influence on student council and the administration than most other positions in the student council.
Well, first I may take these up at a student council meeting. I'd pose these ideas and these questions that the students have. And also I may have like a conference where kids could talk to each other, or like a chat room where we could all like shape these ideas and really mold them into an effective idea before we present them to the administration, so we can deliver it best to them. And it'll be ready to go by the time we give it to them. And we'll have a backing also.
I think if the idea that you said is really as popular, is really as popular with the majority, I think that it's the student council's job to fight for the students, and if that's what they believe, they have a certain opinion, a certain desire, the student council needs to follow through with that to the best of their abilities. And a lot of times we really can't beat the administration. We just don't have that kind of power. But it's important that if the vast majority of students want something, that the student council takes that into consideration and fights for it.
For example, this year, as in the junior class, when we had our class meeting, the juniors discussed how strongly they wanted next year's senior sign-out sheet to be in the senior hallway. And while that's been brought up many times in student council, it's still our duty and our responsibility to kind of further their ideas and take it upon ourselves to bring it to the administration as junior class representatives. And as chairman, you have more of an ability to kind of regulate the flow of what's going on in student council and kind of bring the most important, most popular ideas that are present in the student body to the forefront and bring it to the table.
I think we should also let students know what they can do independently from us and what they can run and what power they actually have, because they could organize a lot of these things themselves. And I think they need to utilize their own voice also. And we need to help show them that they can do that and what they can actually do.
One of the things I also mentioned in my speech was greater collaboration between student clubs, student organizations, and the student council. And I think that this type of alliance will really will create a much stronger voice for the students in all types of activities, interests. So I think that a stronger collaboration will also lead to greater student power.
Okay, so I know there aren't a lot of issues in this election really to take a stance on. So a lot of people are voting based on personality. So what aspect of your personality is best suited to you being student council chair? Anyone want to jump in?
Okay.
All right.
I'm innovative, and I'm always willing to try new things, and I've got original ideas, and I'd be willing to look over all the policies we've had in the past and see what's worked and what hasn't, and I'd be more than willing to try new things.
I think I'm a really involved person, and I'm willing to involve myself in the student council. I'm willing to work the extra amount of time, the extra amount of effort to accomplish something, to accomplish what the students want, to plan an event to the best it can be. So I think I really will put in a lot of effort, and I think that's part of my personality, especially as a student council leader.
Similar to that, I feel like I'm a super dedicated person, and while I do certain things, I do peer support, model UN, and athletics. When I dedicate myself to something, I make sure that I do it to the best of my ability, and student council is just another outlet for me to express, for me to do what I do best, and that's useful.
Okay. What legacy would you like to leave behind for future student councils and for GFA? Clay, you want to start?
Well, personally, I've been on student council for the duration of my high school experience, and every single year I'm really proud to be a member, because the chair has always been sort of an inspiration for me. I think the chair is an inspiration for many students. They are seen as the representative of our school. They're seen as the person who really speaks for the students to the people who matter, the administration. And I just think that I'd want to continue this path. I'd want to make sure, obviously, that the students were having the best time they could possibly have in high school for the coming years. But ultimately, I think the legacy is different for every single candidate, for every single student chair. So that's yet to be seen.
I want to maintain the welcomeness that this community gives to all sorts of interests and all sorts of passion, and I want the community to kind of like foster everything that everybody does. I want other students to inspire other students to do things and to try new things, and I think we're a bonded community and we really support each other, and we really need to keep that up because that's a huge part of this school that a lot of other communities lack. We're very close and tight-knit, and we all support each other and are interested in what we have to say.
I think GFA offers countless experiences and opportunities that students can utilize. And I think as a legacy I'd pass on is that when you set your mind to something, you can make the most of it. And next year, I want it to be the greatest year we possibly can have. And whether that means putting extra time and extra effort in, it's a matter of setting a new standard, a new level that the chair should fill, and they're big shoes to fill. And I think, as Clay said, this is a position that former student council members or current student council members really look up to, and other students. And I think it's just a matter of being someone that someone can look up to.
Okay, so now, if elected, what would be your what is your biggest goal and what would be your greatest accomplishment if you could achieve anything? Annie, do you want to start?
That really depends on what the student body is saying next year. I want to lead. My biggest accomplishment would be making. Mike mentioned this in the speech. Some people say, "What does student council do?" Next year, my biggest accomplishment would be this is what student council did, and for people knowing what we did and getting it out there.
So your greatest accomplishment would be letting people know about your accomplishments?
Well, being able for people to be involved and getting the student body so like supportive of the student council and giving ideas, having our ideas grow in the student council and having them blossom.
Okay.
I want the students to look down the list of events and activities offered at the school, and I want them to be proud and I want them to be excited by what the school has to offer, and not look down a list and dread an event, or look down a list and say, oh, kids aren't going to go to that. I want them to see a list of things that really make us a community, and I want them to get excited and engaged in it.
Kind of similar to what Mike said about creating a more close community. I think that I personally have never been one type of person, and I don't think anybody at this school is one type of person. So whether it's a theater production, whether it's a sports event, whether it's an art night, I want the same amount of people to come. I want the same amount of people to support, because I think that nobody is limited to one type of activity, one type of personality. I think that everybody at this school, what makes it so special is that we're very unique and different. We're just not the same people. So.
Okay. And for my last question, I want to know in one sentence why we should choose you for our student council chair. Anyone? You can think about it for a minute because it's a tough one, but if you want to start.
Well, I believe I'm a different person than most of the people who have had this role in the past, and I believe I bring new ideas and a different type of person, and show that one person, not the typical A student, not the typical person who's, very, very friendly with the administration. I'm a different type of person. I really bond with the kids, and I represent them well.
Okay.
I believe that I'm a similar type of person to the people who have held this role in the past. I think that I'm trying to be a role model every single day. I'm trying to represent the school with the greatest amount of passion, the greatest amount of respect, the greatest honor that I possibly can. And I think that if elected student chair, my main contributions to the school, to student council, will be this quest for passion, for honor, for all the qualities that make our school so special.
Okay. And Annie?
I feel that I could be a role model for upcoming students, and I feel that with my dedication and passion that I bring to the table, that I would further the student council legacy that will come.
All right. Thank you all for participating. Great job.